Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Ruth Marquis. Welcome to Ruth in the Bag. Yeah. Welcome to Ruth in the Bag. This is our money show. Ching, 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 ching. So today we focus on our money, getting our money right. I know that you hear a lot of things are shifting in real estate, a lot of things are shifting in the economy. So what the last thing you need to do is still be living check to check or don't have a savings, you make a lot of money, but if anything happened to your source of income, right? You don't know what you're going to do. So Ruth in the Bag is going to help you get on the right track, help you know what to focus on when it comes to your money. Today's topic is going to be rich versus poor mindset. Rich versus poor mindset. Okay. So, one of my very first legit mentors was Robert Kiyosaki. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. We got into network marketing when I was 18, and I mean, I was introduced to personal development. I was introduced to Jim Rohn, and I learned a ton. Okay. But before we get into our topic, okay, I hope you guys brought your accountability pad. What is your accountability pad? If this is your first time watching me, my name is Ruth Marquise. I sell real estate in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. Okay. So what I do is I help people that are looking to buy a home in the future, or they want to upgrade their home or downgrade their home. Whoever is looking to fix their finances, their establish credit, repair their credit, all of these things, you're gonna need money to do it. I don't know who told you you don't need no money, but you're gonna need money to do it. So it's time for us to get our bags right. Okay, we need to get our money right. We need to get our mind right. I was walking into an opportunity today, and he was just like, "What's your credit score? Like, what is it? Like, I want to know." And if it's not X, Y, and Z, then disqualified. How many times have you been in that situation where you're like, before this moment, I should have prepared, right? So before we get started about the rich versus poor mindset, I want to pull out my report card. I'm gonna do it up front. Cha. Okay, but it's good. It's good. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys so y'all can see what's going on. Right after that, I have a contract sitting right here. I'm going to submit this contract, getting my last initials, and it would be my biggest sale to date. So everything's working, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Like, results are here, the results are in, and we have a ton more to go. So this is just, how you gotta, if you want to get to the next level, you got to clean up the old level. That's the process I'm going through now. And when I tell you, I have never experienced like such growth. I said that, like, listen, um because there's side hustle income and then there's main income, and I was like, I don't care if I slide in, because I wanted to think like a saver. I don't care if I slide in 50 cents. And it got to a point where I was like, listen, I'm tired, I don't want to do no more. Let me just slide 50 cents in, let me slide $2 in, let me slide $10, whatever I need to do to make sure I add to my savings account this week. So I was proud of myself for that. So let me give you my report card for the week, and let me know how y'all do. How did y'all do financially this week? How did you do? How did you do? Did you do? Did you do? All right, let me tell y'all what had happened. What had happened? Okay, all right. I had some awesome videos, so stay tuned. All right, here we go. So this is the Ruth in the Bag financial report card. The first week, as you can see, earnings, spending, tracking, investing, savings. I just was getting established, and I just was like, look, let's just get it started. It's all good. Oh, let me show Instagram. The next week, it went up. I did pretty okay with earnings, right? And I realized, I was like, you know what? I knew what to do to get the earnings up, and I started implementing more of that. Spending, I still was okay. It went up, actually. I went up because I started with my spending. I don't know, like, I made Dollar Tree my friend. Okay, if you know the other night, Dollar Tree, I bought like 3, 4 patties for $1 child dinner was $5. Okay, it's actually starting to become fun, and absolutely, they got Lunchables. They have all these things, and I'm like, yo, the money that I spend on food, I put it towards a bill. I put it towards saving. I put it towards investing. Whatever it is that I can. I was like, I'm starting to have money left over for this. I was like, oh, that sounds good. Mind you, you got another stream of income. Hmm. So also, don't allow the judgment of other people. Don't allow what other people think to be like, oh, I can't believe you do it. A lot of people, what I realized, we're going to talk about humility. Okay, a lot of people don't understand humility. And what you have to understand is you got to back it up, because if you're going to be running companies, if you're going to be running, like you said, you want to be an entrepreneur, or somebody, oh, yeah, I feel it. You said you wanted to be an entrepreneur. You said you want to run businesses. You said you wanted to be this billionaire, but you have no idea how to read financial statements. Where do you think you billionaire? Where? Millionaire where? Six figures where? If you don't get this, when you don't get it done in a small, on a small scale, you're not going to be able to multiply and grow. Okay, so that's where I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. I know how you work, God. Let me do this for a little bit. Boom. I'm like, all right now. I did the calculation the other day. I was like, I did this, that. You know, I usually do my new. I'm like, oh, I looked at the numbers. I said, what? What's happening right now? Okay. So I was excited. And before I get started on that one, I decided to do $100 a day challenge just on side hustle money. So it doesn't matter how much money's in the bank, $100 a day challenge. Okay. So once I do the $100 a day for 100 days, $100 a day for 100 days, then I'm like, boom. I saw the more deals coming in, because I'm like, all right, I was supposed to commit to this. You know, so once you take it the first step, the other steps reveal themselves. And I was like, all right, God, I'm supposed to do this. So let's go on and do it. It's nothing for me now. Um, and some side hustles are harder than others. So I ain't got the easiest one, but I'm still pulling it off. So I'm proud of myself. Yay. All right, let's go on. This is this week's, okay? I'm going to show Instagram my screen. Hold on. Go back, go back. All right, this is where we are. Okay, so you see for earnings, A plus, spending, B plus, tracking, C plus, investing, C minus, savings, D plus. Overall, I went up to a C plus. Last week I probably had like a C minus or whatever. But I'm actually surprised, because I thought I was going to have a bad grade this week, and I'm going to tell you why. So when it comes to earnings, I hit my goals. Like I hit like my own side income. It was like, I don't have the calculator with me, but it was literally like 90%. I hit, was it 90%? At least 90%. Yeah, I hit the 90% mark of what I wanted to make. So I wasn't mad about that. So that was 90%. On top of that, I got my clients under contract. Okay, so that's a step in the right direction. But once I actually get paid for that, that's going to boost it to beyond A plus. So I don't really count that. I'm just working with this other money. As far as spending, I went up. Increase in spending, not an increase in numbers, but I spent my money way better this week, because like I said, I made some changes in the food. They have Lunchables. They got the cereal. I stopped buying stuff from, like, I like to buy the individual bowls, and like they start to add up, for the kids cereal and whatever. I like to get the miniature ones. And so I was like, yo, they have all of this stuff at the Dollar Tree. Matter of fact, if I went to the movies, I ain't saying I did it, but I would have gotten me a big old popcorn from the Dollar Tree, and I would have stuffed it. Okay, now it was fresh. I ain't saying I did it, but I would have. All right. So let me see who's on here. Hey, if you're on here, say hi. If you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay. How's your spending week go? How did your money week go? Tracking, I would say I gave myself a C plus, because for tracking, I changed my strategy for my side hustle, and I didn't want to do it that way, because I was like, it's going to be more gas. But once I tracked it, and I was like, oh, this is how much I'm spending in gas. However, I didn't know because how the bank statements, they'll have include the weekend money. So I was like, all right, next time I know, I got to actually write it down, and I can't wait. But so yeah, I did track some of it. I could have did better, but I did track. As far as investing, I would have just gotten a low grade investing, but I was looking at some investment choices. A lot of times we don't make a move or pull the trigger because we think we don't have the money. But and then also when you have the money coming and you don't have a plan for the money, you start spending it the wrong way. So I had money coming, so I was like, all right, let me go see what's available. And so yes, as far as investments, I did do what I needed to do as far as investing in that. Savings, no, no, but I did slide money like consistently into my savings. And what happened is I had an emergency purchase. I was like, look, do or die. Emergency purchase. I bought it and I was like, I realized like, oh, you can take money out your savings and use it for the emergency. So that is inspiration for the emergency fund. I was happy about that. So yeah, overall, I would give myself a C plus. So that means I'm doing much better in these areas. So I really, when you, if you're thinking like off of, okay, what's in my account right now, that grade will be lower, but because I looked at I chunked it down, I could see how, oh, I'm making so many more improvements. So this week, next time, like my grade should be amazing. So I'm happy about that. All right, so that's the report card. We're gonna talk about rich versus poor mindset today. So here's some of the lessons that I learned this week. Okay, you ready? You ready? You ready? All right. So Robert Kiyosaki was talking, and he was saying how, rich people speak a certain way and poor people speak a certain way. Now, people think that I'm funny because I don't say a couple certain words. Like I don't say can't and try. I try to say as little as possible, and I catch my words because death and life is in the power of the tongue. So when you are poor and you say, first of all, calling yourself poor is not a good thing. Um, a lot of people just say I'm broke instead of I'm poor because poor is a permanent condition. Um, poor people say I can't afford it, right? I can't do it, or I don't have the time. I can't afford it. I can't do it. I don't have the time. When you say I don't have the time, you got to remember people like Oprah Winfrey had the same 24 hours as you. Rich people have the same 24 hours as you. So how is it that they're able to find time? Why don't you have time? Because you have bought into Netflix culture. You have bought into chilling with my friends at the 5 p.m. culture. You have bought into gotta hit the bar, hardy hard culture. Your girl got bars culture, right? So I came to the real estate office and it was like, it's like, you still working at this time? They over here having a poker game, and I'm over here getting my contracts together because I don't know about you, but if I got money on the line, we got to take our behind where we got to sign. I definitely was. He was like, you working this late? I sure am. Buddy, what? Okay. So, yeah, so I have a different kind of mindset. It's like we don't stop when we're tired, we stop when we're done. All right. All right. So, poor people have an escape mindset. They always trying to escape. They're trying to escape with a substances, drinking, smoking, chilling, resting, always trying to escape their reality, trying to escape. That's why when you see people going on vacation a lot, what are you running from, my friend? What are you running from? You're like, I swear they rich. When they come back home, like, are they coming back to a roach invested in apartment? Are they coming back to a mess of a place? Are they coming back to their rent not being paid because they was too busy, showing up on the gram like they got it like that when they don't? Like you can only do it's like musical chairs. Like after a while, ain't no chairs left. There's no chairs left. So you want to either feel good, right? I've never wanted to buy like $600 pair of sneakers. Like I don't have a desire for that because me, I would love it, and I'd be like, okay, the next day, what we wearing? Okay, I need another pair, like another. So I was like, how about we delay the gratification and we get it all at the end, right? So that way, when you have it, you know you good. So get that vacation when you know you could come back to something that you've built and you love, right? You love your home. You decorate your home. You do nice things. You don't wait till you go on vacation. You can't run a camera through all of these people's houses, but they on vacation. And I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like, I want to be able, so you go, oh, run the cameras. Let's go. Let's do MTV Cribs. Until then, what we chilling for? What, huh? Okay. Anyway, so escape. So you become what you say. So you cannot speak in statements. Okay, you cannot afford if you get nothing else, change your language. You cannot afford to speak like a poor person. You cannot afford to act and think like a poor person, or you will become a poor person. All right, and I'm not belittling poor people, but it's right now it's becoming rich and poor. It's the middle class getting wiped out. There is people are okay, let's say the rents are going up, mortgages are going up, all of these things are going up. What do you think is happening? And everybody's income stays the same. They're going down and being more poor. Like that poverty line get a little closer to that person because their income hasn't grown. Why? Because their mindset hasn't grown. You think I'm gonna go get this job, hold on, I'm gonna go get this paycheck, I'm gonna go get this pension, that's all I need. I heard Rich Dad Poor Dad. And if I step on a couple toes today, it ain't me stepping on the toes, my friend. It was the mentor that told me this. All right. So he said basically, poor people that said, I don't have to learn about money. My job is going to take care of me. And rich people are like, or entrepreneurs say, he said, I think he asked his dad like, Dad, why do we go to school and learn, why do we do this? And he said, well, you go to school so you can get a job. He said, okay, well, you get a job and make money, right? He's like, no, you don't get a job and make money. You get a job and get a job. He said, so why is it that why don't we skip the job part and not just make money? And he's like, I mean, kind of right, son, right? So entrepreneurs, their job is to figure out how to make money. Their job is to figure out what business is going to help them make the money. Literally, what you do is how do I figure out how to make money? You think that somebody's going to hand you the solution on a silver platter. You think somebody's going to hand you, and they will if you have a mentor, which we're going to talk about. And they will let you know what you need to know. They will. So this would hit me hard. He said poverty, the middle class, and I'm going to add the rich. That is taught in your family. Being poor is taught in your family. It's taught in the way you were raised. And it made me think of those days, like those medieval times when you were born in a poor class and you died in a poor class and you were born rich and I'm like, it's the same thing. It takes a tremendous amount of effort to jump out of one class to go to the other. Middle class are people that get some of it right, but the rest of it they don't get right. Let me know if I'm speaking the truth to you. School taught us don't make a mistake. That's why you got penalized for getting the answer wrong. But when I think about that in real estate and business, I'm like, what? Getting the answer wrong, being wrong is not, that's not, you don't get penalized for being wrong. You get penalized for not trying. You get nothing from not trying. So the fact that you tried, you failed, and you learned, that's the process. So when people don't want to become entrepreneurs, it's because they are afraid to make a mistake. They're afraid of looking bad. They're afraid of looking crazy. I mean, there's room in our economy for each one of us. I mean, back in the day, did they not have like little marketplaces where everybody was selling this or that? They had a barter system. Why do we think that we have to go and get these jobs, even though you need one, even though we respect the job, but it's like a temporary solution to a permanent problem, which is being poor. A job is a temporary solution to a permanent problem of being poor. So what you do, you stay at your job and you educate yourself financially and you work on having assets. One thing that blew my mind today, he said, I don't work for a paycheck. I work for the asset. Oh my gosh, Lord. I work for the asset. So I'm like, what's the asset that I have? Okay. The assets, my real estate license is an asset. These are things that bring money in, right? Though they bring money in, that's what an asset is. If it takes money out, it's a liability. Sorry to tell you, but sometimes your personal residence can be a liability unless you turn that bad boy into an Airbnb, or you're renting out your basement, or you bought a duplex. I'm a realtor and I'm telling you that it's a liability. It's just the fact that y'all want to buy it, and you want to you want to pass on generational wealth. It's in general a good idea, but some of you guys, it's not the best idea for this moment. So for this moment, you may have to build yourself up to get there and then go buy the house. But a lot of times we buy it before we're ready, and then that's the part that I really don't like. Is then the next day I try to tell them, please save enough money, because the next day I don't want you to pay your money, whether it's $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and the next day you're broke. Like, that's a realtor's nightmare. And then something goes wrong. It always does when you don't have the money. When you have the money, nothing seems to go wrong. But when you don't have the money, then some leaks want to come around. You know what I mean? So you have to be prepared for what's going to come, because now you're going to be an owner. And the problem is people don't understand ownership. Like, when something is broken, you have to fix it when you're the owner. But when you are so used to being an employee, you're somebody else fixing the problem. That makes sense? You're used to somebody else fixing the problem. So when you get to home ownership, it's kind of like being an entrepreneur for a house. It really kind of is, right? So you got to learn how to fix things on your own. The next thing that school taught us that doesn't serve us is don't ask for help. Are you kidding me? Don't ask for help. We're in the real estate industry. We need tax professionals, lawyers. We need accountants. We need electricians. We need all this advice from all the mortgage people, um, uh, insurance people. We all have to work together. We all have to ask for help, because nobody can step on anybody's toes. And the industry is like, you can't just tell my client, what's the best home to buy for them, and you don't do that. You're an insurance. No, everybody has their own domain. So when you don't ask for help, you're not getting expert advice. I don't understand when people want to ask their sister or their friend who bought a house one time and try to weigh that advice against their expert. You picked the wrong expert, or you just don't know how to trust people when you don't allow your expert to lead you in the proper way, because your sister who bought a house one time, you're taking would you really buy a home? If you wouldn't buy a home with a realtor that sold one house, why would you allow your sister that bought one house to tell you what somebody else does every single day? They've seen so many more scenarios and they know much more. You see what I'm saying? So if that's the case, because if that's the case, then you are like you're allowing somebody to have your biggest financial transaction to be tainted. So find somebody you can trust and then ask them for help. Okay. Oh, I had one of my buyers this week. He was like, who's let's call her name Coco. He was like, oh, let's leave Coco alone. Ruth, we're gonna recruit you. We want you to come work for us, because I feel like we're gonna have a smooth transaction with you. He's like, we don't need Coco, we need Ruth, right? Because if you are confident and you're right and it makes sense what you're doing, they're gonna want to work with you. Okay, it's okay to fail. Ask yourself, what did I learn? It's okay to fail. Ask yourself, what did I learn? That's why I do the report card every week, because it holds me accountable. It makes me know that I put in pressure on myself in this area. When I tell you, when I tell you how other areas is shaping up, I was like, I'm gonna do this show. Yes, ma'am, because I want to see a result. I want to see, yes, sir. I want to see results in my life. And when you're result oriented, you don't care who's watching, you don't care who sees or who knows. When you finally get tired, when you finally get sick of your situation, when you finally get tired of not living to the fullest potential that you have, you're going to be like, you know what? Let me do something different. This is something different. Let me do that. Okay? You cannot get rich. This is a rule. You cannot get rich depending on a paycheck or a pension. If step one was don't depend on a paycheck, bam, past step one, don't depend on the paycheck. Nope. That's the first level. So let's say I went and got a paycheck tomorrow and they took it away, It wouldn't bother me because I know how to make money without a paycheck. That's one. So what's the next, right? How to increase your revenue, how to scale your business, how to go up. So for my entrepreneurs, scaling. Start learning about scaling your business. So he said 92% of the economy one year was created by small business owners, and not many of a lot of them had one person in the business. So entrepreneurs is huge for the economy because it has the most job creation. Meanwhile, bigger corporations with their tax cuts, they start laying people off, right? They start. It's like, I'm not saying it's a sure thing, but it's better to know where you're going and to be in control of it than to just give up your power to somebody. And if you cannot, because you're already in it, Ruth, I already got a mortgage, I already have a car note, I already have all of these things. That's when you do both. You build your skills in your entrepreneur world, and you still hold on to your job. And it's not going to be easy. You're barely going to sleep. You're going to just have enough to sleep. You're going to just have enough to like chill for a little bit, and that's it. But you got to go through the grind. If I tell you a lot of times when you're listening to the financial podcast, I look at patterns. Okay. One of the patterns I notice in real estate is that when people stay in the business 10 years, 10 to 15 years, they tend to rely a lot on referrals, and they're not working as hard on lead generation. That's new people that really work on lead generation. Now, do the vets have a problem with when their business goes down and their phone's not ringing anymore? Yeah, they have a problem. And that's when they want to jump into lead generation. But I was like, Ruth, if you just stay in this thing for 10 years, 15 years, I'm on 10 years now. And I'm like, yes, right? Then the money will start coming to you. Your your experience will start to pay off. That one client you did 5 years ago, they're going to send you 5 people, and that's going to start do that times 50, 100, 200 clients. You're really going to have a business. Hey, honey, how are you? Oh, hey, best cost home repair. So that's when you want to scale your business, you want to figure out, how do I take it from 10 to 100, from 100 to 1,000, from 1,000 to 10,000, from 10,000 to 100,000 to a million. You got to start thinking in that direction. You got to start thinking, what's my next move? What I'm here now, but what do I have to do to get to that next level? Scaling your business, right? Not padding your pocket from your business, but scaling your business. What do you have to invest in so you can be at that next level? There was a guy who wanted to scale his business, and he put a suggestion box, and he called he had a whole bunch of suggestions from all the stores that they had, and he called one person a day and start implementing the things that the customers are saying. He says, hey, Queen, hey, how are you? So he started implementing the things. In 24 months, that business was one of the top businesses in their industry, in their field. It's going to take discipline and focus. It's gonna take discipline. I'm official. I got bots. All right, let me see how you handle these. Put user in timeout. Block user. Hey guys, I got my first bot. All right. So it's going to take discipline and focus to scale your business once you have it, right? Then to scale it, and I was getting this advice from billionaires. So they said routines set you free. If there was a book, the first billion is the hardest. This man, he made his first billion at 70 years old. Now I know y'all are like, Ruth, I can't wait till I'm 70. Well, read the book now and start working on it now so you can get there before something. That's why I see it. Your first billion is the hardest. He ended up having $40 billion and then giving it away. I think his name is T-Bone Pickens. So go on Amazon. I saw the book. Go ahead and get that book and read it. Let me know what you think about it. Routines will set you free. If you have routines, that is literally the secret, right? So you're constantly tweaking your day. You're constantly putting habits in your day. Whether you are like, see, when I add these videos, like I just did one. And one day, and now on Ruth and Relationships, right? Ruth and Relationships. We're on episode 184. 184 episodes. So these habits, they start building up. They start compounding on each other. One person, I remember going into somebody's like YouTube and seeing like I like them, and I was like, oh, I want to hear more, more, more. It's like on demand. You can get that person, that personality. There's people I've been following on YouTube for 8 years. You got anybody you follow on YouTube? I'm trying to check out, like, oh my gosh, I was like, I be praying for people. God, let them have a baby. She really want a baby, And I started with the day one video. I saw her in the car, and then now like she's a huge YouTube star, and she does all of these things, and she has almost, I don't know, some of them have 1 million subscribers. But to see somebody at their lower phase as they keep going, it's their routine. The routine of putting out videos, editing videos, learning a Final Cut Pro, learning photography, learning modeling, putting styling clothes. She wasn't that good with her clothes before, and now everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I love what you wear." It's habits. Instead of you watching a TV show, become a TV show. Become somebody that people watch. Become a producer. Become somebody that the content creators, they're really just TV producers for YouTube. That's literally what you do. You're putting together your custom quality information package, and people like your personality. You literally get paid for being you. Being you. You get paid for being you. Like, that's awesome. You can't mess that up, right? So these are the things that you have to implement. So another topic that I learned about this week was humility. Humility will keep you from learning the things you need to learn and doing the things you need to do. Humility will, if you don't have the humility, you're not reading books. If you don't have the humility, you're not going to conferences. You're not trying to find a mentor and asking them, can they help you? You're not doing what you need to do. I used to do this all the time. I was like, all right, I need to stop and start implementing. But okay, once you implement, you get to another plateau. Once you find yourself at the same, I made the same amount of money that I did last year, and you don't have a job. It's like, hold on. I need to learn more. I have to work more on myself so that I can grow into that. People want to chase money, but what you do is you become the best version of yourself, and money will be attracted to you. You become skilled, you become helpful, you provide value to people. So when you're driving, you're listening to things that you know that people have an issue with. You learn the solutions to their problems, and now they want to pay you. Now they want to, like, listen, you know a lot about this, so I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay you, girl. Yes, I'm gonna pay you, sir. I'm gonna pay you because I want to get the results that you're getting. Help let people. I read something about leadership, and he says leadership is not telling people do this and do that. It's you walking ahead and allowing people in on your journey. Ruth in the Bag is about my financial journey. Ruth in Relationships is about, oh, don't do that. Sorry, she's smiling. Ruth in Relationships really work. Like, it's amazing. If you really want to get your life together, your love life together, watch Ruth in Relationships. Get your girl, be quiet. All right. So I'm excited if I can get to the same level as Ruth in Relationships, that I can do Ruth in the Bag. Listen, so I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna do my routines, and I'm gonna put the hard work in, and I'm gonna develop my the what's it, the framework, the mentality. I am not the same as episode 1. I can already see a change in everything I'm about to do. I remember getting checks in real estate and being so frustrated, like, I can't make this multiply. Why can't I make this multiply? It's just I take it and I spend and I don't get it back. And I know that I can learn to multiply, but it's because you didn't have the financial intelligence to multiply money. You don't need a huge check to multiply money. You can multiply what you have right now. I don't care if it's $1 or $2. If you're starting, it's building up that habit. Like when you are lifting a weight, let's act like this is a weight. It's very light, but if you do it and you do this 100 times, you start to feel something like, hold on, I feel something, I feel a muscle coming. And you start adding, and the weight becomes a little bit more and a little bit more. I ain't got a bunch of props because I'm not in my normal whatever, but it becomes heavier. You start to develop some muscle. You start to look, you know, I'm back and I was working out. I can't get too muscular. You see it. So anyway, be quiet, girl. Um, so yeah. Hey DJ, Philly Fly. So These are the things that you have to do. You have to clean up your habits. So if you're not humble, you're not going to read books. If you're and that's the difference between rich people and poor people. They read books. They read and they implement what they learn. They always trying to learn and get on knowledge. Like I could tell high quality people, they watch the whole thing. They get the morsels that they came to get. They came to nourish themselves and be like, you know what? I'm going to implement that. I'm going to take that. I'm going to do that. They know that information is power. But low vibrating, low quality people, they don't see no action, no fighting, or no cussing and downplaying. And I hate men and I hate women. They leave because that's what their world is. Their worldview is I'm going to blame somebody, I'm going to be a victim, and I'm not going to do nothing about my situation. I'm telling you, you got to work with what you have. I'm telling you right now, I took little steps, little baby steps. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't get nobody to get under contract. And now I'm like, oh, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Now y'all want to get under contract? Oh, all right. So I'm just letting you know it takes humility. Also, mentors. You're going to need mentors to help you through the things to get you in shape. And mentors are not going to be like, oh, boo boo, shoo shoo doo doo. I need you to get your life together, okay? They're going to say some crazy stuff to you. They're going to say some crazy, and that's why the Ruth and Relationship show. If y'all see it, go check my timeline out, or check my check my timeline out. So I was able to listen to mentors that I didn't even know. I learned them about them on YouTube and take their harsh. They spoke a little rough. They said some real things, and I was like, you know what? I could be offended, or I can change and get the results that I want. And I decided to do the latter, to change and get the results that I wanted. I forgot former letter. Right? So if you can go get these, if you can get these, I got another bot. Okay, cool. If you can go ahead and get these mentors under your belt, then you will be led in a direction that you want to go, because the information that you have right now is how you got to this level. So the only way to get to the next level is to get new information. I barely have time to do and that's another thing is my schedule is packed. My schedule, I got to go here, there, and there. It wasn't even enough to do one thing at a time. I would have this going right here. Contracts got to be delivered. Kids got to be picked. Like I do like 3 different things at the same time, and like that's the only way I can get things done. And that's the life. So you telling me you want to make more money, but you don't want no more responsibility. You telling me you want to make more money, but you don't want to take more stress, more pressure. I did somebody this. I was like, I want to make more money, but I want to look cute. He said, I only make money when I'm stressed. And I was like, dang, he right. He's so right. He's so right. He's like, I only make money if I'm being stressed, I'm probably making money. And that's so true. It's going to be like that. So okay, so let's move on. Let's listen to this is How They Keep You Poor. Watch this to become a millionaire. And so I was listening to this guy, and dang, how much he sold his company for? It wasn't no 400 million. It was a lot of 40 million, maybe.
Nearly enough time to that in the beginning.
But I was like, oh, this is some good advice.
And so I think one of the things that the formal education system did really well, that people poo-poo on it, is the idea of going into debt to gain education is something that fundamentally makes sense.
Yes, but it's got to be the right education that can make you money.
You got to get a return on it. that's the issue, right? You have to get a return on it, because like the idea of borrowing from a future self that can make more money to pay for the thing that you're getting the skill for makes total sense. I think Elon was saying something about how Neuralink in the future, it's going to be such a competitive advantage that they can price it at whatever they want, because once you have it, you'll be so much more able than anyone who doesn't have it, that you could so easily pay off the price of the thing. That's how it should work conceptually, right? So education is supposed to work.
Yes.
And so this is the simplest example that I have. So a friend of mine has a 17-year-old daughter. She got a job at a bowling alley, and she makes minimum wage. And he said, why don't you become a phlebotomist? She was like, well, I don't want to spend the money. He's like, it's $500 and it's a 2-day certification. And then after you have that, you make $25 an hour. So she didn't have the money. Now she could save it to get the $500, right? Or she could take a loan for the $500 from her dad and pay back in a week.
Right.
right? Because she has higher earning capacity. And so it was like she could either save for 8 weeks, right, from her bowling alley to pay the 500, or she could take a loan for the 500, do the 2 days, and then pay it off in a week. So at that 1 week, she now has 7 more weeks of earning capacity. This is a micro.
This is why we don't have what we should have, because we are looking at how much money it's going to cost, and we're also not valuing our time. You only have, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years to work, right? And then you're going to have a medical issue, or do you really still want to keep working? And you're giving it away to people that don't value your skills. You need to take the skills that they taught you and do something with it. Okay. I'm going to give that one to those who want to catch it, catch it. If you want to let it go, let it go. But use your skill in a way that is going to make you money and save you time. She in that scenario, she got 7 weeks back of her life. 7 weeks back of her life working. I mean, there's jobs that I do, and I'm doing it on purpose to discipline myself, this side hustle stuff. But in reality, like if I put as much energy into my main streams of income, it would be crazy. Like literally crazy. But there comes a balance. There comes like you have to be able to you know, different stages calls for different things, right? So let's just say if I'm chilling, right, and I got a couple of big checks and I'm good, do I stop doing my side hustle? Even though I know I could take it and invest in the stock market or invest in real estate investing, do I really stop what I'm doing and chill and put my feet back up? Do I really put my feet back up? Right? Do I put my feet back up because okay, I'm good now. I did that and then I was like, see, that's why I should have kept doing what I was doing. Okay, because you don't know, as an entrepreneur, you don't know what's going to happen next. So you need to be able to have multiple streams that is consistent, because you don't know what's going to dry up. I'm just telling you the truth. If y'all want to act like, oh, everything's perfect all the time, y'all could do that, but I don't live in that kind of reality. I'm telling y'all the truth.
Yes. Right? 7 weeks of earning capacity at her new level, and she'd be net positive on the next 7 weeks of earnings, right? And so that's just a micro.
And so a lot of times we could have just done another job, another bit, like you could have been an electrician, or you could have been a carpenter, or you could have went to hair school or whatever, but you don't want to invest in that little bit. What he said reminds me of is real estate. That's what it reminds me of. Real estate, you pay $500, you get your license, you pay another $500 to $600 to get started, and then you have a license that can pay you an unlimited amount of money. And it's not a huge time requirement. It's not a huge time commitment. People try like, what's the schedule? It's no schedule, right? It's can you do it or can't you do it? Somebody was like, you change your clothes, you change your dress. I was like, I'm selling real estate now, okay? So it's time to work. So at any time, at any given moment, whatever is required, that's what it is required, okay? So they were laughing at me.
Micro example of like what skill investing does. And so that, because a lot of us talk about like, you got to get educated, you got to learn stuff, and like you learn stuff by doing it. And a lot of times you pay for that education or access to people who can teach you those skills, because a lot of people aren't going to give it to you for free. That makes sense. It's okay. Like it took them
That's another time.
some time to learn the thing, and they compress that time to give it to you. So I mean, that's why I'm like educate. If there's one thing that's my like life's mission, it's education. And so
I was telling my coaching students last night.
Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it. We're gonna talk about mentors later. So what was he saying just now?
if there's one thing that's my like life's mission,
Oh, when he was saying like people, they spend a lot of time getting to know their level of expertise, and people would just want it for free. Like, oh, tell me everything that you know. Well, why would I give it to you? Why would I tell you everything that I know when I put the time and invested it? So when I give it to you and you don't pay a cost, even if I wanted to give it to you, I gave you this a ton of information, and you can know what I'm saying is true by how you guys handle information on YouTube, on Google. You have all this information. You didn't implement none of it. because it was free. But as soon as you pay for a course, you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm here. I'm doing the work. I'm doing this. When you pay something, it costs you something. So don't ever expect somebody to just be like, hey, here's all the knowledge that I have for free. I took 40 years to get this kind of a knowledge, 20 years to get the kind of knowledge, but I'm gonna give it to you for the low price of free. And you think like it's gonna work like that, then you're silly. Because nobody gave it to them. You gotta get your own information. You gotta figure out and plus you gotta get the information tailored to you. Guys, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching Ruth in the Bag. Yeah. I want you to put in how did you do this week financially, what you need to still work on, and what you're doing good at. Okay. Are you doing good at spending? Are you doing good at saving? Are you doing good at investing? Are you doing good at tracking? If you can't do nothing else, track your money so you at least know where it goes. Okay. Then you can make financial decisions based off of the tracking that you did. You'll find yourself in a better position and place. What I have really learned this week is to manage my time in a way that I can make more money and eliminate time wasters, that I can hit my goals. And I've seen it. I hit my goals by managing another resource, not just money, but time. So that, and with that being said, I have to go. Thank you so much for watching Ruth in the Bag. Yeah. Y'all have a good one. Let me know how you like the show today.